and the French and the Spanish and the Africans. Call this side our Creole side. We'll do the American side on the second hour. Ursuline, they were the first little nuns to arrive here from France and then from Spain. The Ursuline nuns. Okay, we're still passing the Market Cafe. I think it said the French Market. Now we're passing the flea market, where vendors come from all over the world to sell their merchandise. So you want to make sure and be careful you are getting a Gucci product and not a gotcha. All right, so that's pretty much the French Quarter. Like I said, about 6 blocks one way and about 13 another, except for this building on our left, the New Orleans African American Jazz Museum, where you hear all your greats, even your Italian jazz musicians, Louis Prima, Louis Armstrong, Buddy Holmes, Fats Domino. Yeah, all you greats right here. At one time it was called the U.S. Mint. It was where money was made. And the French and the Americans did not trust one another when they traded on Canal Street. So one side of the bill would be in French and the other side in English. All right, on the right, now we're going to the second part of New Orleans that was formed, our Faubourg Marigny area. Faubourg, it just means area. So a guy by the name of Mr. Bernard Marigny, his parents had passed away, left them a lot of money. He was a Frenchman, and he gave us the game of dice and craps.
Yeah.
Well, he noticed he was going to lose all his money, so then that's when he started investing in property for the French, the Spanish, and the African man. But Mr. Treme would really be the person to really help the African American, French, and Spanish man. And they did a series on him, the Treme series. So we're going to pass the Treme area in just a minute. So this Frenchman area, we're on Esplanade, and you have local jazz clubs there. It's where the locals like to go. 16 of them, to be exact. 16. I kind of think there might be more. Now, Royal Street. On the left side, we have some people staying at the Hotel Monteleone, right? We have some people staying at the Hotel Monteleone. Yes?
Oh, no, we're staying at the Royal Sonesta. You just picked us up there.
Got it. Well, the Hotel Monteleone has a carousel bar. It's one of the rotating bars in America called the Carousel Bar on Royal. And then on Royal in your Frenchman area to the right is the R Bar. That is where NCIS has filmed, at the R Bar. They're very superstitious in this area, so you'll see a lot of blue and green. They thought they would keep the birds away from building their nests. They would think it was the open sky, so they wouldn't get yellow fever. That plagued New Orleans for about 100 years, from like 1800 to 1905. Because they didn't change the water in the French Quarter, the drinking water for the horses. Buffa's Lounge to our right. That's where movies have also been filmed, like at the R Bar. Buffa's Lounge, late night bites and live entertainment. It starts about 6:30. Okay, we're going to get into our Treme area, but right now we're going to make a quick detour. Come back around to Esplanade, okay? Treme. Mr. Claude Treme being a Frenchman who married a Creole woman. And as I said, he would help African Americans be the first to own property. So you're going to see a church, St. Augustine Catholic Church on Henriette DeLille Street. Yeah, St. Augustine. Very interesting. You're walking on history if you get a chance to go there, okay? St. Augustine himself and his mother, St. Monica, were from Africa. All right, St. Philip, right here to our left. Mother Cabrini, she was from Italy. She would give us one of the first orphanages during the time of yellow fever. Now don't forget Mother Henriette DeLille, right? The Bourbon Orleans Hotel. This here to the right is Louis Armstrong Jazz Park after Mr. Louis Armstrong. And the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Miss Mahalia Jackson was a blues, gospel, jazz singer. Now, before it was called Louis Armstrong Park, it was called Congo Square. Yeah. Many of the Indians would meet there, have a big flea market, many festivities, and then later the Africans, after they would go to St. Augustine Catholic Church, the French and the Spanish, and have one big second line parade. What is the second line? Well, it's your brass instruments coming in back of the family for something really special, like a birthday, like a graduation, like a wedding, even a funeral, even had jazz funerals. Okay, if you look over to the right, this is the oldest mortuary right here, and Chapel of St. Jude, Saint of the Impossible. As I told you, there was a lot of yellow fever, many burial victims. They were stacking up the coffins at that mortuary. And then they would slide them to the St. Louis Cemetery number 1, which we're getting ready to go see. You'll see where Nicolas Cage built his specially designed pyramid tomb. On our left is the second oldest athletic club in the United States, believe it or not. The first in Manhattan, the NOAC, New Orleans Athletic Club, since 1872. So again, you really are walking on history. You read all these new places, check all these new places out. All right, so this was a waterway right here for the Spanish. Okay, remember the Spanish and the French wanted to be separate from one another. They didn't like one another, and they certainly did not like us, the Americans, when Napoleon sold it to us in 1803. Okay, look to your left. You see a pyramid tomb, everyone? It looks like a triangle. Does everyone see that on your left? Looks like a triangle. That would be the tomb that Nicolas Cage had specially designed for him when he passes on. Now, this is the oldest mortuary and chapel of St. Jude, the tallest statue of St. Jude in the world on our left. He is known as the saint for impossible cases. All right. Okay, passing St. Louis Street. That's where the oldest restaurant is in New Orleans, in the French Quarter, which, this was the city right here. Antoine's French restaurant. 4 generations going strong. Oldest bar is the Jean Lafitte, or the Jean Lafitte Blacksmith Bar, that's candlelit. Don't want a ticket. Again, passing Louis Armstrong Jazz Park. This is where the first jazz festival took place in 1970, right here by St. Anne. You go down St. Anne by Louis Armstrong Park, and that is the St. Louis Cathedral and Jackson Square. That'll take you straight to the French Market. Philip, one of the first orphanages after Mother Henriette, about the time of Mother Henriette DeLille by Mother Cabrini. Yeah, you would want to look for her movie. It'll be coming out called Cabrini. And then don't forget Mother Henriette DeLille movie, played by Vanessa Williams. Governor Nichols, down Governor Nichols to your right in the French Quarter is where Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie had their home that is now up for auction. It is going for about $1 million. Okay, this is a Cuban restaurant, Havana Outpost. That's something new. Okay, we're going to get back on Esplanade and continue doing our second line parade, still with the red streetcar. Straight ahead is the St. Roch Market. That is where no one died from yellow fever. They said a little prayer to St. Roch, and it's like spelled like St. Roch, the alcohol. And you'll see a dog pictured next to his ankle. He saved a young boy from flooding waters with his pet dog. So they named it after him. No one died from yellow fever in the St. Roch Market. It's open till 9 p.m. every night. Also, Musicians Village is in that area where one of the levees broke, and where Fats Domino lived, and where many artists got together to help rebuild by giving us one school of jazz for the kids and elevating those. Those are called shotgun homes by 3 feet. Okay, right here off of Henriette the Little Street on our left, by the Mule and Carriage, is St. Augustine Catholic Church. First church for African Americans. Again, St. Augustine being from Africa, and his mother, St. Monica. That is where Little Wayne went to school, St. Monica Catholic Elementary School. This is in our Treme area after Mr. Claude Treme. So there's a series on HBO. You may want to watch that. Very interesting series. They would have a big second line parade after they would go to Holy Mass on Sundays. They would take it to Congo Square, which is now called Louis Armstrong Park, and bring all their brass instruments and horses. I mean, it was really festive down here, down this street, down Esplanade, with their second line parade.
There were some really nice decorated houses.
Well, I will tell you something, guys. There's a lot of African American mom and pop shops here, even Italian, all you name it. There's one there, a little African American shop, little Dizzy's. There's a good little restaurant in this area, African American, Dookie Chase. Yeah, Miss Leah Chase just passed away. She was the matriarch, Miss Leah Chase. So they have it in the airport also, Dookie Chase's. You may have seen that. A little African American restaurant. Now, when the bridge went up, this is the Claiborne Bridge after Governor Claiborne. His niece was Liz Claiborne, the fashion designer. The residents were very unhappy. They started drawing all their favorite jazz musicians under the bridge. But I will tell you something. Now, after Hurricane Katrina, we have the second line parade every time the Saints play here. So all this is blocked off. Oh yeah, it has come back alive. Okay, on our right, the home of Mr. Dufour Baldwin. He gave the city our first pumping station. On average, we are about 3 to 5 feet below water. On average. The hurricane came from Lake Pontchartrain. We're going to see that on our second hour. Yeah, not in the mighty Mississippi, because remember, that's about 12 feet above sea level. We're going to see the home of a 1940s actress, Miss Dorothy L'Amour. It's going to be by the light on the right. She would have been up there around the same era as the African-American actress, Miss Lena Horne. All right, so you want to take a look over to your right here. And if you notice, under her porch ceiling, it's blue. And by her, the balcony there, it's green. So again, a lot of blue and green themes. They were very superstitious. They thought the birds would not build their nest there, thinking it was the open sky. But that did not work.